Good. Mary, please read the opening prayer. Oh, you cannot
She can
unmute.
unmute now. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay. All mother sentient, wait a second. Okay, all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in a state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. I can't move the screen up. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind root Lama and lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Idams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakini, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions, those who have reached the Tathagata state and those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantrabhadra's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms surrounded by countless bodhisattvas, thus all space is filled with Buddhas and bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri piled high as Mount Meru and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantrabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance, I rejoice in the merit of all Buddhas in the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratika Buddhas, those who have attained our hardship, those who have entered the path of our hardship and all other beings. I request to all great protectors of the Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into paranirvana to live long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth, in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the 4 continents, and the sun and the moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. To the lamas who possess the 3 kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me supreme realization, enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, oops, too high.
Om Guru.
Om Guru Ratna Mandala Putsa Mega Samudra Saparana Samaya Ahom. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father Jigden Sumgung. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unelaborated nature of mind. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the 2 vehicles and their combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of the 2 veils, and perceives the various types of knowledge in their true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text next to his heart. He has compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the prison of samsara, as a father for an only son. Like a thunderclap, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and loosens the chain of karma through the 60 branches of harmonious speech. He wields the wisdom sword to cut the ceilings of suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 signs of a Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance.
Om Wange Shoramo, Om Wange Shoramo, 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 Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Om Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Om Wange Shoramo. Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Arabazana de 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 Arabazana de. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blesses and dispels the darkness of worldly ignorance, are positive before you in the press to Manjushri, Yunagalen Jangwaipo, Yishe Rome Radamba, Yidin the moments are one, Yambar Yang La Zanzardo. Thank you, Mary. Damge doje yaje reizan rong yinje mado deje bonjong ba zerje lambo davar jibe ge yaje yarbe yal zan zer yagar benje bola gadenje be man yune galan den rong Dada lano zimbe ganen ze orjin rumbo je la zoran de dorjen janjin de lo naro Marba mala juje gambo ba mo juba jarwa indigombe kajo lama nan la zorwan de romen juje yenje bodan Te som sang je gen je ngo nye rang sem ji ge ngo song dong ze sa we lam be ya la so wa de. Good morning, good afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to teaching, everyone. So I'm going to sharing with you today is generation stage. Generation stage. So yesterday we talked at ground, path, result. So this Vajrayana tradition in the teaching, the main point is right now even we are in the ground ordinary being, but we have all the enlightening qualities within the even in the ordinary in the ground. Due to our body, speech, mind obstacles, we don't recognize that. So that's why path clarify, purify all the body, speech, mind obstacles. And then result is what we have on the ground is recognized. Ground and the result is reuniting. So use this path and practice. So then the path, yesterday we share, many these different ways teaching is outer level practicing and the inner level practice and the sacred level practice. So first, here sharing is the outer level teaching. The why we have to follow by the outer level teaching, because we have all our enlightening qualities within in the ground, but we don't recognize that we are, under the, emotion or control the emotions. So even we have enlightening qualities, we are ordinary being. And due to emotion, so we are suffering in samsara. So that's why, we have to practice the outer level and who enlightened beings. Reason is enlightened beings already free from all the obstacles. Even we have all these Buddha's qualities, but due to our obstacles, we are suffering in the samsara. So that's why we have to, practice the outer level yidam deities. So that's why it's in the stage of meditation, so all phenomena of the world of appearance have never been separate from the basic state. Actually all these phenomena is not separate from our natural requirement. However, for the sentient beings who do not realize this, so we didn't recognize that, due to our obstacles. Oneself and the deity appear to be separate entities. So that's why, and Yadam deity and we are separate entity appear to us, because due to this, obstacles. And long as we purify our own obstacles, we are not separate from the Yadam deities. But not due to our afflictive emotion, our obstacles, we are separate from the Yadam deities. So that's why, see, oneself and the deity appear to be separate entity. That is not true, but due to our obstacle and delusion, that's why temporarily appear to be separate entity with the Yidam deities. Then when we are totally fettered and caught in the cocoon of karma and emotional poisons, so we are, under the or afflictive emotion, create negative karma. So negative karma is really thick and very heavy. We create already the obstacles we create are very heavy. Not only this life. So unbeginningless time until no. So we create all this negative karma is very heavy within our body, speech, and mind. So that's the reason here says when we are totally fettered, encased in the cocoon of karma and emotional poison. So that's the reason the deity is the embodiment of wisdom, the wisdom of liberation. So deity is become separate within us because due to our very heavy negative karma emotion, and deity is already free from negative emotion, negative karma, and so deity means embodiment of wisdom, embodiment of compassion. So it's already fully realized and liberation. So we have to use who free from this negative karma and who is free from emotion, fully realized, and that Yadam deity we have to bring to our support to practice. So that helps become also remove our negative karma and obstacles and become our body, speech, mind is close to the enlightened beings. And if we have realized, then we are not separate with the Yidam deities, but not due to this our emotional obstacle, negative karma, temporarily, delusionally, we are separate within the Yidam deities. So now we have to get rid of our negative karma and obstacle delusion. So that's why we need support who already achievement, accomplishment free from negative karma and obstacle fully realized is Yidam deity. So we using support or this deity, and at that time the practice is called ultra level practice Yidam deity. And then fully realizing the true nature, the Yidam deity means fully realize the true nature. Dharmata. Self-benefit is brought to fulfillment. The enlightened beings self-benefit and others benefit. Self-benefit is, all these deities free from suffering, free from samsara, and liberate. And no more, and stuck in the samsara, fully realize. So that's the self-benefit. And others benefit because due to their love, compassion, bodhicitta, they no abide in the nirvana and appear to form body for you benefit for many other beings. So that's the core Yidam deity, fulfillment. For the benefit of others through the immeasurable wisdom, love, and power. So the Buddha has immeasurable love, so that representative Chinrezek, form body. Buddha has immeasurable wisdom, that's representative Manjushri. Buddha has immeasurable power, so that's representative Buddha Vajrapane. All these three Buddhas is actually Buddha's enlightening quality. Enlightening quality is effort to form body, is three Bodhisattvas. So then, of course, the Buddha has all different like kind of qualities, immeasurable quality has, but to bring to like main three qualities, wisdom and compassion, power. So these three quality effort to form bodies, Manjushri, Chinrezek, and Vajrapane. So now, we have to practice the Yadam Deity. The reason is we don't have wisdom, we don't have love and compassion, we don't have this power, Buddha's power. Okay, so that's the reason we need who has this quality, support for we need, using support. Without the support and ourselves practice, put effort is limited and not that powerful. So the example is, is in the really cold weather, so frozen weather, extremely, cold weather, think about, and that kind is like all we have afflictive emotion, negative, and then frozen weather, cold weather, and without, cloth, without a house, without a fire, without a sun, we can get easily frozen because our own heat from our own body heat, not that much powerful, is limited. So that's why we rely on the cloth, and so same, we rely on the auto support, and then we rely on the house. Same, we rely on the support, and we rely on the fire. So same is we rely on the support. So we rely on the sun. That's all support. Rely on everything for use, like we need others protection. So otherwise we get frozen easily. We die. Same without this, Yadam Deity is a support, and our own effort, put whatever we do, is limited because the same is like our own body heat cannot, warm up, ourselves in the frozen weather, and we cannot warm up the frozen ground. So that's why, we rely on all these different, stages, like, cloth, house, fire, and the sun, and all different kind. We need support. So this all the, we practicing Dharma, we rely on the support. Support is the same as, you put in the cloth in the cold weather, same, long as you have good cloth, you don't get frozen. And we need a house, we need a fire, we need a sun. So long as this, the powerful supports really helps not only our own, benefit, like all this whole frozen grounds can unfrozen. So the same, like we use this practice Yadam Deity support. Then this really helps for, our purify negative karma. Without the support, our own ability not possible. So that's why we rely on all this enlightening being who has enlightening quality, immeasurable wisdom, love, and compassion power. So use this, special support, and object is Buddha, and then we need Dharma, prayer or aspirations, and the great wisdom effort, using this prayer of aspiration. So sorry, this little I did a mistake there. Okay, so the Buddha is like, see, enlightened beings, wisdom, love, and compassion, power. is arising for the form body. We use that support. Why we can use the support? Because this enlightened beings aspiration, prayers or aspiration, and the great wisdom appear in the symbolic Buddha of the deity, such as Manjushri, Yamitaka, and any of the peaceful and wrathful deities. So all these deities appear to form body. The reason is because of their aspiration, and their they create so much accumulation, merit, and aspirations. So there all this quality, enlightened beings, quality or aspiration practice is arising the form Yadam deity. And then that's the reason this Yadam deity can protect us and help us, benefit us. So the deity form is a diversity deity form arise. And diversity deity is like say Manjushri and Yamitaka. Here mentioned about only two first. So the Yadam deity arise, two qualities, wrathful deity and peaceful deities. So why is it peaceful? Because peaceful means all the our enlightening quality is peaceful deity, and we subdued our negative emotions, afflictive emotions, transform. So that form body is apart to wrathful deity. So that's why when we're going to enlightened, so we have to create love, compassion, bodhicitta, wisdom. So all these qualities arise for the form of the peaceful deity. But then we have to remove our anger, afflictive emotions, four maras. We have to subdue. So this negative quality is transformed or subdued. That effort to form body is called wrathful deity. So we have the two qualities in our enlightening form body. The reason is right now, and we are ordinary being. So we have all these body, speech, mind obstacles. Within this, we are in the ground. So we have a true energy, fighting with all the time with within our own mind. So they have positive energy and negative energy. These two is always, actually fighting. So when you do the practice of Dharma, positive energy is very happy. And when we do the negative things, so negative energy is very happy. So that's why negative energy we are put into the samsara. Positive energy we take to the spiritual path. And so enlightenment means you fully get quality positive energy. So that's able to form body is peaceful deity. So you remove all these negative energies, subdued, purified, so that then quality is able to the wrathful deity. So that's why true Yadam deity is actually enlightening quality, no separate. That's the reason each this Yadam deity has two forms, wrathful and peaceful. Because when we have fully achieve our positive energy or accomplishment, that energy, then peaceful deity, and remove all these negative emotions when we enlightened, so that quality is called wrathful deity. So that's why we have sometimes idea when we have negative emotion, strong negative feeling, practice a wrathful deity, because wrathful deity is purification negative emotions, and peaceful deity is all the enlightening positive quality arises from body. So that's the reason, in this Yadam deity always have two. Here Yamitaka is peaceful form, wisdom arises from body. Wisdom opposite is what? It's ignorance. If not destroy ignorance, then no possible arise wisdom. So that's why, the transform ignorance, destroy subdued ignorance, that quality is called Yamitaka. So then long as we subdued, purify ignorance, arise wisdom is called Majeshri. Shri Yamitaka and any of peaceful and wrathful deities, along with the mandala of emanations. So all these deities has a mandala. Mandala means, like same as like right now we have in this, world has countries. It's different kingdoms. So all this deity each has this mandala enlightening, the kingdom. So that's the reason. And then which deity we connection to, so we have become part of that mandala and that kingdom. So all this deity's kingdom is not samsara, it's already free from samsara. So that's why we don't want it to be in the samsara citizen. We wanted to become part of the enlightenment citizen. And that's the reason right now we applying, our enlightenment citizen. So which Buddha going to accept? We apply to all these different kind of Buddha's citizenship. And long as you have one Buddha's citizen, so then you can go other Buddhas, every pure line is the same, no difference become. So same is like you have good country citizen, the all world, you can go everywhere. And the same, long as you have this one enlightened being's citizenship we get, so then, we can instantly can get other pure line, Buddha fairs and Buddha's place for the ultra level practice. So that's why here, okay, wrathful deity along with the mandala of emanations. Then here mention about the two, right, wrathful and peaceful, but they actually talk about 4 activities. And each Buddha has these 4 activities. Pacifying, increasing, magnetizing, wrathful. So these 4 activity each Buddha has. But the main point is this 2 is peaceful and wrathful deity. So then, this 4 activity, also we have to create that 4 activity karmic imprint connections. So many different ways, we have to create that connection. When we are become enlightened, so we have all these activities, quality. So that's right now we have to create, that's the reason when we practice Yadam deity means always these 4 activities together. That's why, Marpa Losa gives so much hardship for Malarepa. So he led him to birth 4 houses, 4 directions. This symbolize meaning is 4 activities. So that's why all this 4 activity has, different symbols. So shape, like if you create like some mandala, the mandala has a different shape, form. So the house actually Marpa Losa give it to Malare, but this all exactly same different, shapes. What the activity has led him to do this, that birth, because Malarepa can achieve enlightenment. He can have all these 4 enlightening activity qualities. So that's the reason, here is mentioned about peaceful and wrathful can be also 4. activities, and sometimes five families. So the all is actually is one. These different aspects create, two or four or five. Then through the symbol like appearance of the deities and lighting form. So then this, Yidam deities aspiration, wisdom, compassion, all this quality is effort to form body for benefit for others. And then this form body has so different symbol like appearance of the deities and lighting form. So that's why each Yidam deity has a different symbolized meanings. Chinreze has 4 arms. Why he has 4 arms? Because he has 4 measurable quality. And why he hold the wish fulfilling giver in the heart center? The bodhicitta is the same as the wish fulfilling giver. So then why is lotus? Is enlightened beings, and due to compassion, take emanation, birth into the 6 realms, benefit others. So that's lotus flower, and mala, another hand, and liberating all other beings, benefit other beings. So that's why all this, symbol like appearing of the deities enlightening form. The mantra of enlightening speech and the samadhi awareness of awakening mind, the deity bestowed the siddhis. Okay, so here, then who practice Yidam deity, this effort to this qualities, effort to form body Yidam deity, we practice the deities, the mantra of enlightening speech. So we chant the mantra. Example, Chinese mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. Manjushri is Om Wangi Shoramon, Om Arapatsa Nade. And each this deity has, mantra. So mantra helps purify our speech negative karma, speech obstacles. Because we are enlightening, ground actually enlightening, but due to speech obstacle, we don't have the enlightening speech quality. So that's why chant the mantra of enlightening speech and purify our speech negative karma. And then the deity's enlightening form, visualize the Yidam deity's form body, purify our body negative karma. And the samadhi awareness, meditate samadhi, and so that's purify, our mind negative karma. So that's why practice Yidam deity using this support is path purification, purifying our body negative karma, speech negative karma, and mind negative karma. So that's the reason we visualize this enlightening form body and chant the enlightening speech mantra and meditate, enlightening samadhi. So that's, remove all this speech, mind, body, obstacle, negative karma, remove. So that's the, reason this, auto level we practice Yidam deity. Then in accordance with our wishes, anything infallible enlightening activity to establish us everlastingly in the state of internal happiness, the state of liberation. So long as, we practice Yidam deity, then in accordance, different deity with our wishes, so then we, using our wishes, using the support deity and practicing wishes, anything infallible enlightening activity to establish us. So we create enlightening quality with ourselves, everlastingly in the state of internal happiness. So that's bring the supreme happiness and the bliss and the joy. So the state of liberation, then take to the liberation, because right now we are in the ground, right? Ground due to this different obstacles, and using this yidam deity practice is part purifying. Long as we purify, then reach to this result. Result is liberation. The liberation is, supreme happiness, joy, and free from suffering state. So that happiness, the come from or bring from the practice yidam deity. Development of the visualization of the deity. So then we have to meditate yidam deity, because you follow by different stage levels. We have to visualize the deity, recitation of the deity's mantra, we chant the mantra, and puja, so prayers, rituals, and different levels they have practicing, and retreat, accomplishment, practice of the deity are known as the way to accomplish the deity on the auto level. So go to the retreat, and much ever chant practicing, connect to the yidam deity, using support the tanka statues or this object. We need a special object when using this practice. So then we do the offerings, purify negative karma, confessing to front of the enlightened special object, and then create accumulation merit, purify negative karma. So all these different ways, using this special support, and the main point is purify our negative karma and obstacles. Remove the obstacle, our realization. So that's the reason we have to practice the yidam deity. So then some ways, like people think, I don't need to use all these yidam deities. I can purify my negative karma without the yidam deity. So some people can think that way, but that is not possible. If I already give the example, and frozen, really cold, extremely cold place, you cannot heat your own, use your body heat to survive. Not possible. So within this samsara, without the support, we cannot remove all our negative karma. So afflictive emotions. That's the reason we need use this support. So you think about when you're going to wash your cloth, dirty cloth, and you need water, you need soap. Without that, you cannot wash cloth. We need to use support. So then, this support has, of course, different levels. So same as right now, it's like washing machine. You can put all the in the cloth, everything's in the washing machine. Then washing machine, don't think about this cloth to that cloth, they don't have a bias, like different colors, different qualities. They just wash everything. Washing machine wash everything. Same, long as we use this yidam deity practice, yidam deity don't have a bias, anything. So the deities has love, compassion, wisdom, equanimity for everyone, and have every single being. And long as use this practice yidam deity, benefit for everyone. So that's why practice yidam deity is very powerful. Remove negative karma. Same is we use powerful wash or washing machine. So clean the dirty cloth. So that's you have to understand, right? Cloth is dirty. It's the same as right now our ground. When you put in the washing machine, it's a part. When you clean already, your cloth is clear, clean, then that is the result. So actually same cloth, but cloth doesn't change anything. So same, right now we are in the ground, but you put in the effort on the part practice, When achieve enlightenment, is the same person. You don't have enlightenment means something different right now. Another person is not come into our mind. So right now our dirty mind is washed. So that's why when Malarepa going to meet Marpa Lotsa the first night, Marpa Lotsa has a dream. Naropa give him stupa to the Marpa Lotsa. He told him, this stupa is dirty. You have to clean, purify. And then this stupa is shan. So benefit all sentient beings. So that, also instruction is the same as right now we're sharing here. Long as we purify all our negative karma, we are achieved to enlightenment. Right now we are ordinary being, but actually due to this obstacle, negative karma, but long as we remove that, we are Buddha. So Buddha is no other than right now this ordinary, being. So that's the reason Buddha say all sentient beings are Buddha, but not talking about purify already negative karma Buddha, And we have this natural quality, enlightening quality right now we have. But due to obstacle, we not recognize. That's what we have to understand here. So then these practices of the deity are known as the way to accomplish the deity on the outer level practice. Then the inner way to accomplish the deity is as follows. So go into the inner level practice of Yadam deity. The deities are within one's central channel in the form of the essential wisdom parana, or subtle energy of wisdom. So that is, within our body, not separate within our body. So that's why yesterday I shared with you, short information. This our body is the same as whole universal. Okay, our body has symbolization or this quality or symbols. Actually, all the mandalas, enlightened mandalas, but we don't recognize that because right now is called no rapine. Our chakras, weighing these nadas, is no rapine. It is a kind of a seed, so seeds you put in the ground. We don't see the flower and the trees, fruit, anything. No possible we recognize is the seed is going to become flourishing, tree or flower or like different kind of plants. Not possible to recognize because when seed is in the ground, it's no knowing, invisible. So then, soya, of course, water, sun, all these different condition comes, the seed is ripening. Then when the seed is ripening, actually seed is apple to the flower, trees, different kind of plants or fruits. So when seeds have to ripening, need all these different conditions. Without the different conditions, seeds can be stay under the ground like years, can be like million years stay like this. Especially this Buddha natures can stay eons. Never, actually no comparing just ordinary seeds. Ordinary seeds can be destroyed, can be die. So that's why our nature seeds never die. That's why it's called Vajra. Can stay like million years, trillions or like how to call the eons, like can stay, never die. So frozen weather cannot destroy. sun cannot burn, okay? Water cannot wash away. Earthquake cannot destroy, okay? So hurricane cannot blow away. That's why, you know, the natural mind seeds is called Vajra, is powerful. Always there, no this element cannot destroy, okay? So that seeds need to wrapping. When it's wrapping, you know, so then same with all this, you know, like plants. So actually one tree symbolizes whole universe. One flower is symbolize whole universe. And our whole body is symbolize whole universe. That's why, you know, when we chant this white soul practice, they talk about all these different chakras, like levels, as all these different deities, Buddhas, and all these, you know, samsaric beings, and karmic creator or karmic pair, like karmic dead beings, also in the within, everything is within our body. So no, right now we not recognize that. So, you know, that's the reason this inner quality, I mean the inner practice, Yadam deity, inner Yadam deity practice. So we use this inner Yadam deity practice. You know, this Vajra seeds is growing, like same as like tree, you know, seeds is become grow to the tree, and flower seeds is become flower arise. And our nature mind is arise, or this, you know, enlightening quality arise. So that's why some in the inner level, this teaching is very hard, harder than secret level teaching. Secret level teaching is sometimes easy than this inner level teaching. Outer level, we understand what we talked, yeah? Not that difficulty. But inner level is more hardest one. Because right now we don't see this, all these chakras. We don't see these nadas and bindu, or this, you know, subtle level body energy quality. We don't recognize, we don't see. That's why we cannot really point to that, and very hard to understand. So, you know, even, you know, right now we have this very gross level, level, our, you know, body, organs. We don't see there. We don't see, because without these technologies, we don't see. All the inner, you know, body organs, so many different kind of inside their body we have, but without technology, we don't recognize, we don't see. Okay, so then, you know, kidney or this kind of like something of problems, we don't recognize. Only just, you know, body, we get suffering, the pain, but we don't recognize what's going on inside there. So then, of course, this right now here sharing this inner, talk about the chakra, nada, wing, drops, this very subtle level of the body essence. Even this technology cannot detect it, right? Detect it, or like detect, cannot detect. That's why, you know, through your practice, you recognize these channels, you know, waking up. Subtle level, this energy is waking. Right now is ours, this subtle, really subtle body energy, or this quality, I don't know how to say, essence of body is sleeping, no waking. So that's why, you know, when you chant the mantra also waking your this subtle energies. You know, seeds is in the under the ground, you put in the water. So one drop helps that seed is like maybe little bit move, you know. The even like, you know, your eye grossly you don't recognize moving, but the subtle their energy is like seed is like moving. because one drop of water. Same, we chant mantras, and that subtle, this nadas is moving energy. So when this subtle nadas, subtle level, this body essence, the energy is moving and then become growing. It's a chakra. It's opened. So then, all this subtle level body essence is arise to form Yidam deity. So that is talking about here is, the inner level teaching. But it's due to our, this very strong, right now, is fixation or this dualistic conceptual is very strong. We don't fear that energy, subtle level energy, not possible to fear, recognize. We only fear gross level, feelings, energy, recognize. So due to, this mind state is like really gross level state. Our mind is not into the subtle level, the subtle mind level, we can go into that level. So that's why you don't fear these subtle energies. So example, you have anger, you don't fear you have joy within in your mind somewhere, subtle level, you don't fear that. Because anger is very strong or this emotion is strong, you don't fear other good quality and some subtle level joy in the you have within your body and mind, that you don't fear that, you don't recognize. So same, right now we have all this very subtle level, this essence of Buddha can be, like become wrapping, the body is transformed to the enlightened, but that subtle energy we don't recognize, we don't fear. Even you chant the mantra, you don't fear. And who mind is a very subtle level, is recognize this subtle energy, then they recognize each mantra is very powerful. This subtle level nadas or this energy is moving, giving energy to that, to waking up. So the shaking that, subtle this body essence is creating for the enlightening qualities. That's the reason when we receive the empowerment, so the West, in the West, we have water, it's a blessing, mantra blessing. When we drink that and put it in the crown, visualize, go into these different chakras, and like this fair bless joy, and make something special, like connections, feeling. So that's also like we try to waking out these subtle level energies. So no, it's this subtle level energy is sleeping already eons. So that's why very hard to wake up. That's the reason this practice right now here sharing, okay, follows. The deities are within one's center channel in the form of the essential wisdom pana. So the central channel, invisible channel, in the form of the central channel wisdom pana. So wisdom pana is the central channel wisdom pana, or subtle energy of wisdom. So that's wisdom pana or subtle energy of wisdom is actually conscious, our mind. So and the pure bindu. So when this talk about the essential wisdom pana or subtle energy of wisdom, and the pure bindu have to waking up reproductive essences. So that is the essence of the energy have to transform to enlightened. So this part is like the hardest, we don't understand what actually here is not easy to understand. The main point is, the reason is, center channel, and here is talking about the very subtle, level wisdom, the pana. So that is the actually Wing energy. So that is the actually nature, Buddha nature conscious. So subtle energy of wisdom. So that is actually is mind. And the pure bindu, that is actually pure bindu. With our center channel, this subtle energy together, or productive essences. So that is the very, essence of the body and energy. Our three doors, along with the phenomena we experience in pure state. So, we have that subtle level wisdom, bindu, we have, but that energy, due to these obstacles, body speech obstacles, we don't see that subtle energy wisdom recognize. So I told you the same, the seed is the ground. We don't see any like the plants. So I already explained about this, like example is seeds. So same, we have to understand this one. Right now we have this very subtle energy. The energy is embodiment of bodhicitta, embodiment of wisdom, with central channel. But right now this is our three doors, means body, speech, mind, state, are simply the magical display of our what like I think volatile or karmic volatile karmic veins. So the point is, in this body, speech, mind, karma. This karma is, this karma obstacles transforming or showing is totally different way. That's what I call magically power. So magically power means, through the subtle, this essence we know knowing, because due to this, our three obstacles and what are like karmic veins, so that showing is delusions, impure. And as long as we know, remove our this, body, speech, mind obstacle and this water karmic veins, we don't remove these impure ones, then we not possible to see or recognize this subtle level essential wisdom pana. So we not possible to recognize that. So that's the reason how to we remove this, our three doors obstacle and water karmic veins. Therefore, so we need to visualize the innately present mandala. So we visualize Yidam Deity mandala. We have to visualize. Because this mandala actually seeds we have, but due to this obstacle, negative karma, we don't recognize. Okay, we don't recognize. So then how do we recognize this? We have to visualize Yidam Deity's mandala. And of the deity, that has always been present within the space of our subtle channel or nadas. So then that's the reason we have to meditate. Ourself is Yidam deity. So visualize ourself is Yidam deity, and so chant the mantra, waking all this subtle level energy, quality. We have to waking up that, if until waking up, we don't recognize. So that's the reason we chant the mantra, visualize the Yidam deity, and meditate ourselves is Yidam deity. So therefore, we need to visualize innately present mandala, means like we visualize ourselves as Yidam deity of the deity, that deity is always being present within the space of our subtle channels. So all this deity is within our this subtle channel and the chakras. So that's why, in the another teaching is called Bardo teachings, we talked that a lot. This peaceful deity, wrathful deity, where they are located. This deity is really, truly exist externally. Or this deity is arising from your emanation. So we already talked, or this peaceful deity is located in the heart center chakra. Or this wrathful deity is located in our brain level. And this called the forehead. It is like Kapala here. So in the brain, that chakra has all these wrathful deities. So now, when we are alive, all these deities within our body, we know knowing that deity is within our body, because you see, due to these obstacles and the negative karma. So that's why we have to waking up all these deities, chant the mantra, meditate Yidam deity, and meditate Yidam deity. So then do all these different ways of practice and create accumulation merit and purify negative karma. So that helps become this subtle our wing channel and drop the create essence pure. The wing cannot drop essence pure is transformed to the deity. So that's the reason we have to do all this Yidam deities like inner practice. Of course, all our practice benefited too, but we have to recognize within our body has all these deities. So this deity is right now, when we are alive within our body, we don't recognize. But when we die, this deity is separate from our body. So then that's time appear in the front of us. If no knowing that is own Yidam deity, no knowing that is our own display, then this all the form is frightening, like fears, object of fears. But we know that is our own Yidam deity display. Everything is dissolved into the natural Rigpa. So that's a teaching, talked a lot when we shared the herring liberation, Bardo. So that's the reason, right now here is all, talking about is this deity is within ourselves. No is very subtle, no knowing. So meditator, practitioner who has a very strong self-visualization, ourself is meditate Yidam deity. So then that practice, waking all this energy is deity, chakras, waking up. So then, recognize before we die, all this deity is within us. We are part of the Yidam deity, no separate the Yidam deity. So that helps, that practice is accomplishment in the, deity is practice accomplishment within our lifetime. So that's what we have to understand here. And then another way, you know, auto level practice relative to the this Nirmanakaya practice. And in this one, inner practice is talk about, you know, Sambonakaya. And sacred level practice is Dharmakaya. So that's why, you know, when we talked hearing liberation, Bardo teaching, so in the hearing liberation, Bardo, inner level, I mean, this outer level practice benefit is in the Bardo of becoming. And the inner level practice benefit is Bardo of reality. And the sacred level practice benefit is Bardo of the death. So that's why we have these different levels in the practice. So right now, all these bindus, channels is impure, is so, you know, due to these negative emotions. And that's why when we die, you know, that is apart to the form wrathful deities. And then that's the reason, you know, that's the reason before we die, we have to remove all these volatile karmic veins, these obstacles. So that's why, you know, when in all this pardo, whatever this our visionary or appearance is everything's our own display. Means like, you know, due to this impure is arising in the pardo is unpleasant object feeling, and the pure, you know, this some good qualities arise the pleasant you know appearances in the pardo. So that's the reason in, you know, this different here is like teachings practice levels, but right now we're talking about this, you know, we have subtle this energy essence is Buddha, is pure, if it, is really you know, purified karma is pure, is causes of Buddha, but not due to this impure is arise or this samsara impure perceptions. That's the reason we have to remove this, you know, three doors, negative karma, volatile karmic veins. Therefore, we need to visualize this. So that's why in the innately present mandala of the deity, that has always been present within the space of our subtle channel or nadas. We accomplish the mantra inseparable with the subtle wind or pana. So then, you know, in all this body has different chakras. So yesterday I mentioned about, you know, 5 chakra, 4 chakra, 3 chakras, can be 108 chakras, can be many chakras, subtle level, many chakras. But this all chakras is impure right now. So that's why we have to create a pure. That's the reason, you know, chanting this mantra and inseparable with the subtle wind or pana means like you meditate, like your mind is go really subtle level with your breath, wind energy. And so chant the mantra also go with the wind energy together. So this wind energy, subtle level mantra chanting, meditating, all this waking out these subtle chakras, subtle level chakras, waking and purifying. So then that helps become, you know, we are, you know, like our own, actually we are talking about we are our own creator, right? So we are our own creators, like we have all these seeds of the universal, okay, enlightened kingdom. So we all transform everything, become. long as you know this practice, if you put effort and remove all these negative emotions, so that's why this inseparable with the subtle wing or pana. The root of all of this is in the chitta heart. So this chitta heart is actually called bodhicitta. Root of all of this is in the chitta heart. Another reason, you know, like when you meditate, Mahamudra Dzogchen. So we put the tongue and behind the teeth. So then, you know, breathe from your mouth. So very subtle level breath. This breath, like, is, you know, from the mouth is called wisdom breath. This breath is connected to in your heart chakra. In this, talking about the root of all of this in is the chitta heart. Connect to there. So then this helps waking this chitta heart. In a prevalence of light and is the subtle bodhicitta. So that's called very subtle level bodhicitta, essence with the nature of unchanging great bliss. So that is the, you know, the Buddha nature. This bodhicitta is not relative to the bodhicitta. This bodhicitta is called absolute truth bodhicitta. So that's why, you know, we go to more deeper level meditation. So use the breath, this mouth. And breathe this mouth is connect into your heart, you know, it's a chitta heart. And then this breath is very subtle energy. Subtle, you know, mind follow that. Then you recognize that helps become waking in your nature, you know, recognize nature mind. Of light. And it's the subtle bodhicitta essence with the nature of unchanging. See, that is talking about the bodhicitta, great bliss. So it's a great bliss. So this, you know, here talking about the root of this is in the chitta heart, in a prevalence of light, and is the subtle bodhicitta essence with the nature of unchanging great bliss. Is not substantial, like, you know, physical object. It is no physical object. It's very subtle, you know, like essence of the wing. Okay, essence of the here is heart chitta, or essence of the our channel, essence of our wing, and essence of our body is not the physical, like substantial object. Okay, so this subtle three is wakings, then that is arise the yadam. That is the yadam deity essence. So then, long as you recognize that essence, then you will knowing the bodhicitta, absolute truth bodhicitta. So that's why, you know, relative truth bodhicitta is this, not the seeds, it's same as water. Okay, and with gaining this knowledge, you know, is not the essence of the seeds. Knowledge, you know, wisdom is the same as the sun. So this the essence is the nature, is the subtle, you know, true wing, and original wing. Also sometimes we say original, unmodified wing energy with channel and, you know, essence of the body is the core, the bodhicitta. That is the core essence of yadam deity. So that is the core essence of the, you know, nature mind. So that's we have to know. That's the reason this, you know, inner level practice, waking up that essence of the body, bodhicitta, subtle bodhicitta essence with the nature of unchanging great bliss, but turning one's intention to the unconditioned, pure appearance of one's own nature accomplishment comes. So by turning one's intention means like we have used our intention. When we practice, intention, wanted to awaken that, subtle bodhicitta of unchanging, one's intention to the unconditional pure appearance of one's own nature, accomplishment comes. So use like good intention and, wanted to waking up that essence of this when you and essence of the body, essence of the bindus, channels. So using this practice, then one day is waking up through the practice. So that's why he says, apple of one's own nature accomplishment comes. So that's the inner level practice. Deity, yadam deity, inner level yadam deity practice. Inner level yadam deity practice is, we talk about the Sambhonakaya. Sambhonakaya is also not separate from us. Sambhonakaya is ordinary beings cannot perceived, because we are, right now, the wing, this energy, everything is like really gross level. So I told you, like we have strong feeling and we don't recognize very subtle level feelings, not possible. So this very subtle level energy is called the Sambhonakaya. And that's why, when you achieve some higher levels, even not the Buddhahood, but you get the first Pimi level, second Pimi, and the Bodhisattva, absolute truth, the Bodhisattva's level, then you recognize all this, the essence of the quality, wing, and drop channel is the Buddha. So until that, we don't know. So that is inner level practice. Now as we go to according to the sacred level of accomplishment, if we realize the nature of our own mind, pro-modally unborn, self-arising, pro-modally knowing, the basic space where all of samsara and nirvana have always been equal. There is no other deity to be accomplished outside of or separate from this. Effortlessly, it is already spontaneously present. So, according to the sacred level, then samsara nirvana is inseparable, not separate. So then in that state, sacred level state, is everything is being equal. Then that state, no any accomplishment, not accomplishment. So that is like in this case right now is talk about secrets. Same as we share Garuda teaching and Mahamudra, this Genje Mahamudras. So all these different Mahamudra teachings and talk about Dzogchen different levels teachings. There's everything is included in this section. So that's why sacred is levels accomplishments. If we realize the nature of our own mind, long as we recognize our natural mind, long as we recognize natural Ripa. So this followed by Mahamudra, they say, realize the nature of our own mind. Then Dzogchen usually say, realize nature Ripa. So it's the same, just different use words way to explain. Pro-modally unborn. So the nature Ripa is pro-modally unborn. That means like never deluded. Born means like with thinking about the born from the mother. But born is actually delusion. You are not in the nature original mind. You already, out of the original mind. You are already out of the your own original dharma dharma state. You already out of that state. Then it's born, because that's why pro-modally unborn means that's original mind or nature of dharmakaya is never born, is never deluded. Okay, self-arising is always there, never lost. So this self-arising is, then of course we take different realms of birth, but all these beings, this dharmakaya nature never lost, always within them. Every single being has, that's called self-arising. Pro-modally knowing. So the nature is self-arising, pro-modally knowing means always the wisdom, knowledge, everything quality is there with wisdom. The basic space where all of samsara and nirvana have always been equal. So in that case, in that state, samsara nirvana is not separate. Samsara nirvana is always being equal. So there is no other deity to be accomplished outside of separate from this. So long as you recognize this your own true nature Ripa, and then nothing to accomplish Yadam deity there. So that's why outside of our separate from this, no any Yadam deity outside of this. So that's why I wrote the book, it's a Supplication Tara's commentary that talk about the nature, the mind that is Tara. Tara is not separate from that nature. The nature is not separate Tara. So, that's why in this case, all the enlightened beings are same, equal. Not outer level and the inner level. Secret level is everything is one, it's not different. So not only the Buddhas in this, pro-modal unborn, this nature states, our nature and all these enlightened beings' nature is equal, same quality, not different. So that's why it's, long as we reach into this state, recognize this nature, then other Buddha don't have more better the realization. It's equal state. But there has, due to the aspiration, accumulation, merit, benefit for other, and that case is different. So many beings can be reached into this state, enlightened, but they don't have same as accumulation, merit, benefit for others, same as Buddha Shakyamuni. So Buddha Shakyamuni, he created accumulation merit is immeasurable, like eons, aspirations. And his accumulation merit is vast, same as ocean. Depth and profound vast. So our accumulation merit is the same as like 1 cup of water. Buddha Shakyamuni accumulation merit is the same as ocean. So difference. That's why Buddha Shakyamuni benefit other is immeasurable. But we have 1 cup of water and the ocean is the same, it's still same water. You know, same when you realize in these states, our nature and Buddha's, realization nature is become inseparable. It's the same, the case. So that's why, all the enlightened beings don't have the same is, benefit for others is the same as Buddha Shakyamuni. All this enlightened being has different, levels benefit others because due to its accumulation merit. So that's why we right now we see in the many teachers that due to the realization meditation state level could be equal, but due to accumulation merit, some has so much followers. And due to accumulation merit, and there's a very higher spiritual name, so and more followers because that all is due to the accumulation merit. And ordinary, like right now, like we just regular people can be rich in this realization, enlightened, but benefit level less than someone who has very high level accumulation merit. So that's we have to understand, okay? And otherwise, looks like this each spiritual teacher has different realizations. But someone in who has this Mahamudra Dzogchen meditating practice reach to in this level, it can be same. Other deity to accomplish outside of separate from this, effortlessly it is already spontaneously present. So we can realize our own nature, we can liberate and enlightened. When we enlightened, then our wisdom quality is become associated with the Manjushri, and our compassion practice associated quality is associated with Chinrezek, and our power of the enlightened quality is associated with Vajrapane. So that's why this deity means embodiment of all the enlightened beings. It means we are also enlightened. We are part of this Bodhisattvas. We're sharing the quality with them too. So then, our quality sharing that is like not vast, could be like small. Our compassion is not vast. Our wisdom's not vast. Perform like not same as ocean, but it's simultaneous quality also becomes separate with all these enlightened Buddhas to benefit others. So that's the inner sacred level the practice Yidam deity. Still is a sacred level. Both samsara and nirvana are nothing beyond the magic expression appearing from the basic space nature. So this is samsara and nirvana projected by the nature, because one ground, two result. One ground is one basic nature, and the two result is samsara nirvana. This two result is projected by our this nature, nothing beyond the magical expression appearing from the basic space nature. See, this nature ripa display samsara and nirvana. Samsara nirvana is not separate from our nature ripa. Therefore, practicing in this manner of resting mind naturally in pure awareness, which has always been this effortlessly, unmodified wisdom, is the automatic perform dharma. So that's different ways, explain this nature ripa. So nature ripa is, inner. How to recognize it, like we practice in the inner of resting mind. So resting mind, Dzogchen and Mahamudra, then naturally in pure awareness, that's natural Rigpa, which has always been this effortlessly unmodified wisdom, is the automatic perform Dharma. So that's all the natural Rigpa's quality. By receiving this sort of instruction, the yogin or yogini practice in Linggu with the meditative experience and reach the understanding that the deity has always been one with one's own mind in the great promoter inseparability. This recognition is the great inner accomplishment. So the point is, we meditate Mahamudra and stay in our effortless, state in the mind. Then you practice, then you achieve, recognize all this deity is inseparable with our nature mind. So that is the, mind is the great promoter inseparability. This recognition is the great inner accomplishment. So that is the great accomplishment. Great accomplishment. So now we live there today. I think today is the hardest and very profound too. So go to dedications. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma, Lord Gambopa, Pamotropa, Lord Digomba. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of all Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve nations, by defeating all enemies confusion. May all who travels on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death across the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where is unborn may arise, where is a born may not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activity separate far and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri Vero realized ultimate state, and as did Samantha Bhatta, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true changing Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha, order may I shall bear fruit. By this virtue quality in the three times, by my seven old beings in samsara and nirvana, and by inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Great Digompa Ranashira, whose emanation Lord of Dharma, Master of Interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Thank you, everyone. And sorry about today, I don't have time to take questions. And the next time, one day we can.
Thank you, Kempola. Thank you.
What we can do next time question.
上师，
换一个那个二维码要护持一种护持，我们台湾的要护持你。
Thank you, Kandala.
谢谢 Gracias, obrigado, arigato.
感恩上师，感恩翻译。
I think Kempo is trying to tell us
感恩
something.
上师，感恩翻译。
Second.
阿弥陀佛。
Bye.
上师，
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Kempola.
Bye bye.
感恩上师，感恩
Bye,
上师。
everyone.
感恩上师。
感恩上师。